Hello and very welcome to a new video. My name is Mia Isaksson, and this video and all my videos is always about my perspective and my ideas, and I'm not claiming that I have the truth. I'm just giving this out to whoever are interested. This time I will talk about uh, being reactive or creative. The words are very similar if you just switch the letters a little bit. Reactive can be creative. And it's interesting to see how much of your life, our lives, all of our lives are reactive. And reactive is like you act again in the same way that you act before. We are just doing it, repeating, doing it again and again and again, the same thing. And it's interesting how many people are doing the same thing, repeating the same pattern, but they expect a different outcome. And in a laboratory, if you do the same experiment over and over again, you will have the same result. And it's the same with life. If you do the same thing over and over again, it's very likely that you have, more or less at least, life is a little bit more complicated than a laboratory, but you will have more or less the same outcome. So if you really want to change something, you need to be creative instead of reactive. Being reactive is more safe because what we know is always more safe than what is unknown. So it's normal for us to repeat things over and over and over again. And something that we very often repeat is we blame things on others. And that's not very creative. It's repeating the same old pattern, and if you start to change yourself, other people will change. That's the truth. If you do things in another way, the result will be different. If we are back to the laboratory, if you have done the same experiment and then all of a sudden you put the new ingredients in, you can be sure the outcome will be different, but you don't know what. If there will be an explosion, or if you will ruin everything, if you will die, or so it's the uncertainty is always a bit scary, but it's also the only way to get another result. And if you have been reacting, repeating the same thing towards another person for a long time and always complaining it's his or her fault and they need to change because they are wrong. But if you then try to behave in a different way towards this person, you can be sure that there will be a change. But you can't guarantee that the change will be the one you want, and not even that it will be in your favor, but you will definitely crack things a little bit and shake things so that it can't continue exactly the same way it has been before. And it's with people as with chemicals. If you put in a new chemical, it's impossible for the first chemical to not react to the new one according to how it's programmed to react to these new ingredients. And it's the same in a relationship, that when you start to do another thing, the other person will change. No matter no matter what. because it will be strange, awkward for the other person to continue with the old behavior when you come with a new behavior. But very often we stick with what we know. We know what we got, but we don't know what we will get if we change anything. I don't know. In Sweden, we say something like, "Better one bird in your hand than 100 in the forest." It's better to um, be happy with the little thing you have than want too much. So it's also it's we have this program that if you want too much, maybe you lose it all. You better stick with something half good or little bit bad instead of changing it, and it might be something worse. So the culture that we live in, the mentality that most of us have, is that better stuck with what you know than to throw yourself out into something unknown. And all this is like limiting programming. Um who do you think you are? How much do you think you can really have? And if you want too much, you might lose it all. And that is this programming that was meant to protect us from being losers, from doing mistakes. But every time we want to prevent something, there is also a risk that we miss something if we are not brave enough to break old pattern and try new things. Then we can win new territory. And to really be brave enough, have the guts to really try and change yourself, that's it needs a little bit of courage. So you can start with small things. You can start with things that is not so important. You can start with drinking tea in the morning instead of coffee. You can start take the walk that way instead of that way. You can just start to put some new behavior in your life, just small stuff. Eat a little bit more vegetables, or try to do small changes and see how it affects you. And then you can start with more scary stuff, like start to tell the truth. You can start to not react in the same way that you normally do when someone is saying something to you. If you are in a situation where someone at work is always putting his coffee mug dirty and leave it, and you're every day you think that this is not the right thing to do, and every day you're complaining, oh, you put your mug here again, and maybe next day you can try to clean it, and you can put it in front of him and say, oh, look, I cleaned your mug. I don't know, like something that is not very important, and then you can go on with more and more important stuff. So you stretch yourself, you trim yourself, you educate yourself, you get used to making changes, and every time you do anything, you will feel more relaxed and comfortable about doing changes and change your behavior and try new behavior. And another place to start can be that look at yourself and how many things you are doing reactive. And for example, in the morning, instead of just automatically go and make your coffee, at least you can think that I have the choice. I am able, it's possible to choose tea instead. But maybe I still choose coffee because I'm more comfortable with coffee. But if I just stop for a couple of seconds and think about that there are other possibilities. I can choose another behavior if I want to, and when I'm ready, I will. So just thinking about it, being aware of it, even if you choose to do the old stuff, that's the first step to realize that this is what I do in autopilot. This is automatic. This is what I do automatically. But there is other ways, and when I'm ready, when I want to, I can choose something else. I hope this can be helpful, and I'm very interested in hearing from you. So please write comments if you have found out that you are more reactive than creative, and tell me about what is happening and if you did some changes. And please subscribe and like. And I wish you all the best. Good luck with this work, and I hope to see you here soon again. Bye bye.